The Cleary Tree. Written and performed by Peter Donalds. Music by Maggie Sansone. As landscapes go, this particular stretch of earth was typical and extraordinary. To the careful observer, every morning's light revealed a change or two, but this morning, even the most casual passers-by were struck by the transformation of things after a long, hard spring rain had lasted well into the night.
Holy cow, look at this!
That was some storm last night.
Whoa, look out for the puddle!
Oh,
You okay?
Oh, this is a new skin, too.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Let's go get something
Me
to
too.
eat.
Yeah, it ought to be pretty good pickings today.
Yeah, it should be. I hope we can beat the weasels.
Ah,
though.
those
They always
weasels.
Yeah, they muscle
Yeah.
in. You
You
notice
think-
that too?
I have
I
noticed
want to
that.
say something, but I don't know if I should.
Well, you got every right. I don't know what
You
they
think so?
they
I
are.
don't know. I tried to watch.
The tall grasses were bowed and beaded with crystal prism raindrops. The large, stately silver maples which surrounded the clearing appeared even more formal than usual in their black, rain-soaked bark. With the assistance of an accommodating sun and breeze, they showed off the bright underside of their new and abundant leaves, like proud parents after Sunday service. A row of wild pimpernels opened their white petals to have a look. From the slope, small riverlets carved 100 paths through which tree mites, poppy seeds, frogs' eggs, and thousands of tasty critters washed to the banks of the gurgling stream as appetizers for the considerable crowd of jaybirds, salamanders, shrews, and graylings who had gathered among the cattails for breakfast and gossip.
So, where did you hide from the storm?
In a tree.
Oh, yeah, me too. Hey, did you hear about the rabbits?
What?
9 of them didn't make it.
No, really? Oh, that's too
So,
bad.
what are you doing later?
I'm going to sleep on that rock over there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good rock. I've slept on that rock.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Among the million bits scattered by the storm were 2 helicopter seeds from one of the farthest and tallest silver maples. This pair, brother and sister, had flown together far into the clearing and landed just 30 paces from one another. Each of them, both of them, embraced by the black earth and tucked in gently by the softer drops of the waning storm. Brother and sister seed went unnoticed by the brunch crowd, but still any one of 1,000 misfortunes could have ended their story right here. They could have easily been munched by a hungry deer mouse or upturned by a passing elk. By all rights, they should have been drowned by a second rainstorm, or dried by the heat of the sun, or nibbled by a horde of gnats, or procured as building material for a blackbird's nest. Such was the fate of countless numbers of their cousins every spring. And yet, against all odds, the 2 seeds became 2 seedlings. Side by side, they took root, and side by side, they reached up. Together. During the next few years, the twins swayed together in synchronized dance to every breeze. They stood up to every storm, enjoyed every sun-filled day, and heard every melody of every bird. Together they learned the rhythms of the year, when to change colors, when to drop leaves, and when to let sap flow. Though still very small, they were well-rooted and strong. Brother and sister tree loved each other very much, and by knowing each other, they knew themselves. This was a rare opportunity for a tree, for trees are not normally known for self-awareness. As a rule, only we humans carry the burden of our own reflection. The Duke of Cleary looked in the mirror to take one last snip of the thick tuft of orange hair which he parted in the middle and cropped himself at the ears with his own shears. The Duke was a slight, small-eyed man with disproportionately large hands and feet. His reflection told him he was in trouble. He called a meeting of his most trusted aides. The political landscape was changing too rapidly to suit the Duke of Cleary.
From the west and the east, my land holdings are threatened, and my authority challenged. Now, advancing armies from the south have cleared the way for new foreign settlements. Soon, Cleary Castle itself will be in jeopardy.
They decided a reconnaissance party should ride north. So, before the next sun, under a misty dark blue sky, the Duke of Cleary rode off to claim new lands, accompanied by a select group of 20 brave scouts, his architect, and his chief builder. Just before sunset of the 11th day, the entourage arrived at the landscape of Brother and Sister Tree. The trees stood quietly as the Duke approached. Halting his horse, just short of Sister Tree, the Duke raised his large gloved left hand in a kind of backward salute. The Duke dismounted, his company followed suit, and while bones were stretched and thirsts were quenched, the Duke surveyed the landscape.
Architect, chief builder, come forward, please.
Removing his plumed hat and blue leather gloves, the Duke combed his long fingers through his sweaty orange tuft and ambled forward, nearly stepping on Sister Tree. Brother Tree winced. The Duke continued several paces, turned to his aides, slapped his gloves in the palm of his hand, for effect, and shifted his weight, rather awkwardly, to the left.
Well, architect, what do you think?
Yeah. I think this will do perfectly. I see the main castle there,
Good.
southern exposure,
Of course.
towers,
Towers are good, yes.
the courtyard extending to there, the main wall
The
here.
main wall. Yes, the court wall. How high, architect?
Oh, I'd say about 20 feet.
20 feet? Oh, no, 30 at least. My men and I can get all the stone you need, Sir Duke. We just passed that large quarry this morning.
My thoughts exactly, chief builder. Indeed, you will get all the stone I need. Make it 50 feet high.
50
Now, that might be a
feet
problem,
high.
Sir Duke. You see, with that
Architect,
kind of...
you will design a 50-foot wall surrounding the entire castle and courtyard. 50 feet and not 1 inch less. And, chief builder, I want it built right here.
With a punctuating stamp of his large boot, the Duke pointed to the exact spot where he stood. Brother and Sister Tree swayed forward to look at one another. The diminutive Duke of Cleary was standing directly between them. The usual songbird and cicada symphony which adorned the landscape gave way to a cacophony of hammers and pulleys, shouts of foremen and workers, and 1,000 hoofbeats from teams of workhorses pulling giant stone-laden carts. Brother and Sister Tree were nearly trampled numerous times by the throngs of workers and beasts, wheels, ramps, and stone, but always bounced back and survived. To tell it true, being trampled was the least of their worries. Before long, the 50-foot wall rose up between them.
Quiet, please. Quiet, everyone. There you are. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations all around for a job well done. Cleary Castle is complete. Construction has ended. And we did it in only 10 years. Kudos, special kudos, to architect and chief builder. Architect, chief builder, come on, take a bow. Come on up here. Here.
With its military and economic houses in order, the House of Cleary was safe, its dominion assured. The Duke of Cleary could turn his attention to the finer things.
Landscape artist, come forward.
Hey, landscape artist, the Duke wants you.
Yes, Sir Duke.
Landscape artist, you and your team are called upon to design the castle gardens in a manner befitting the high prestige and power of its inhabitants.
Yes, Sir Duke.
Play, musicians! Eat, everyone. Plenty of mutton and onion stew to go around. Be merry, revel in all that. Good.
The next morning was bright and cheery over the landscape. But without Sister Tree these past 10 years, Brother Tree's life was incomplete. His beloved sibling, just 30 paces away, might as well have been 30 miles. He could not see her new leaves in the spring, or her fine colors in the fall. He was relatively certain she had not been chopped for firewood. She would surely be too small for that, and he hadn't heard the woodsman's axe, but still, without sight or sound, he could not be absolutely certain. Everything reminded Brother Tree of his sister. The sweet, earthy smell of loam after a rain, the drone of dragonflies, the rainbow of wildflowers on the slope, the chipped voices of beavers, and the faint, subtle patting of their tails on mud and wood. The wonder of these daily miracles, once shared with Sister Tree, Brother Tree now felt in solitude. Still solemn and lovely, but no longer joyful. Brother Tree still danced in the breeze, though he did not want to. He had to dance, it was his nature. But he knew that the great wall blocked the breeze, and that his sister did not dance with him. Sister Tree, with only a bare stone wall and courtyard as her constant view, had, for the most part, lost any memory of the lush and ever-changing landscape. Her only sounds were the constant drums and marching of courtyard military exercises. Her only aromas the combination of boiling soap, sheep dung, and the Duke's favorite mutton and onion stew. As more and more rings covered her center ring, even the image of Brother Tree left her conscious memory. For Sister Tree, Brother Tree had become a deep, uncomfortable longing, an unidentified sadness, which she could neither release nor define. Sister Tree discovered that she felt this melancholy most sharply when looking at the sky, so she stopped looking at the sky. Her gaze and her branches and her leaves and her spirit hung heavy and always downward.
This tree is pathetic. Why are you so sad, little tree? My goodness, you're the only tree in the courtyard. We just need to perk you up a little bit is all.
Landscape artist circled Sister Tree several times with a sweeping gait, the drapes of his long coat wafting behind him like the tail of a kite. Landscape artist studied Sister Tree carefully.
Yes, this is the key to the whole courtyard. Are you taking this down, Leopold?
His assistant, Leopold, a squat, perspiring, barefoot boy of 13, took notes with a sharpened piece of coal and dried sheepskin.
I mean, after all, this is the main entrance. What must people think? Yes, this tree will be our centerpiece. Some lilacs there and there, a path of pimpernels here. Let's find someplace else for these sheep, shall we? A meditation garden, perhaps? Yes, a meditation garden with shade provided by our beautiful... Oh, sweetheart, Miss Maple, you are in some sorry condition. What have they done to you? Oh, well, not to worry. We'll fix you right up. A little sheep dung fertilizer, some pruning here and there, regular water. The drainage here is dreadful. Throw some soft light on you, and voila! Come on, Leopold, we've got work to do!
Landscape artist, his assistant Leopold, and a team of workers did wonders with the castle courtyard. Trellises and fine sculptures were strategically placed to cast moving ornamental shadows by day. A carefully designed pattern of torchlights glowed by night. Sweet scented oils burned perpetually. An exotically carved hedge, sprayed with violets, goldenrod, primrose, and bluebell, bordered the coral-crested waterway, which was fed by a series of fountains. Every line of the magnificent courtyard was designed to lead the eye directly to Sister Tree, for which the landscape artist himself had taken personal responsibility. Sister Tree was transfigured into the main attraction of what was now the most beautiful courtyard in the known world. Every limb strong and in place, every bright leaf with its best face forward, Sister Tree was a picture. Healthy and vibrant, watered by an elaborate system of silent mist, nutrient-rich compost at her roots, appendages pruned and preened 24 hours a day. She was truly a tree for the ages. The garden's grand unveiling brought the elite from kingdoms far and wide. Embraced by all who saw her for years to come, Sister Tree would be known as the Cleary tree, for she was as fine and admired as the Duke of Cleary was powerful and feared